Hello, I'm Nick Gelso from Go Restaurant Consulting and the Beats and Eats Podcast Network, again with the privilege of hosting Northeast Current here on the ION TV network. Today, again, I get to go to a place where it's very warm to my heart when we're talking food, and it is the Greenhouse Project. We're going to learn all about their mission statement here, which is really incredible. They're doing wellness classes, cooking classes, education for young people, all based around healthy eating, growing garden foods in your own gardens, all organic, no pesticides, no GMOs. This is the craze. This is the way to get healthy. And today on Northeast Current, we're going to take you inside the greenhouses, and you're going to learn all about it. So Nick Gelso, so pleased to be here, and we'll see you inside the greenhouse.
From downtown Scranton, this is Northeast Current. WQPX invites you to join us as we explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current.
Okay, now we're joined by Jane Risse, the director of the Greenhouse Project in Scranton, nestled here on the beautiful Nay Aug Park. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nick.
So much going on here at the Greenhouse. You are a nonprofit charity, correct?
That's right.
Tell us all about it.
Well, we started in about 2004, and we've been doing small community projects for many years. About 3 years ago, we had the opportunity to come up here to Nay Aug Park in the beautiful restored greenhouse. And so we're doing community education projects here.
Such as cooking classes, yoga.
Yes.
It's a great thing because today, and hopefully children will, and people in general, will latch on to healthy living. We're seeing a lot more on Netflix and Amazon about eating healthy. And you are showing movies here as well?
Yeah, well, we've done some here in the past, and right now we have a community partner with the University of Scranton. They allow us to use the room, and they help us out with the facility, and we show documentary films mostly around food and gardening and the food movement in general to try to get our country healthier.
Dietitians, vegetarians involvement. So explain a little bit about that, like eating healthy and having more vegetables in your diet, less processed foods. You're passionate about this, I could tell.
We are. In fact, our next film will be called Forks Over Knives. And
great name.
It is. It's trying to get people to just really add a lot more plant-based food into their diets and to go away from processed foods and a little less meat and dairy. You could be a radical vegetarian or a vegan, or you can just really make incremental changes and make your health better. So we try to help educate people about that.
And through that, you're seeing more people using less pharmaceutical drugs, more just healthy, being able to stay healthy through their diet.
Yes, you hit on a key point there. I mean, one of our beliefs is to prevent disease through diet, and people can actually cure themselves through diet. Food is medicine rather than pharmaceuticals. They're great and they're necessary at times, but I think if we look at what we eat and whether we have a moving lifestyle, a lifestyle of walking and some gentle exercise, it makes a big difference.
No question about it. You have some great events coming up here in February. Talk to us about what you have planned.
Oh, that's great. So we have one of our exciting partnerships is with Harvest Catering and Events of Dunmore. They approached us and wanted to help us raise money to teach cooking classes and nutrition to kids. And so we raise money with them by offering monthly cooking classes. We do them at their facility, and they're both culinary trained chefs, and so we have a great time. It's a BYOB event, and people learn about different recipes and different cooking techniques and so on, and we raise money to work with school kids.
And also you're impacting the school children as well. I noticed recently at Nativity McGale School here, so starting to, plant the seeds, no pun intended, for healthy living with children. So talk a bit about that.
Right. Well, we visited
You visited there.
Yes, and what we did is we've negotiated to do probably an extensive, maybe 8 or 10 month program with their 5th grade class. And we're going to teach them everything. It's called Plant to Plate. So it's everything from the seeding right on through to harvesting, and we hope even preserving foods. So together with Harvest Catering, we'll do both of those.
How were the children receptive when you were
Oh,
there?
when they heard we were doing cooking and gardening, they literally just shouted and threw their arms up in the air. They were very excited. We're looking forward to that. We've had other schools here too. We've had neighborhood schools like Prescott and many schools, and we continue to do that, tours and education programs.
One thing I absolutely love is the mission statement here. Talk to me about the mission statement. Tell the viewers.
Okay, well, our mission is to grow a sustainable community through education, wholesome food, and healthy living.
That is amazing. We've already talked about nutritional education. Talk about health and wellness and how you're incorporating that into the greenhouse.
Right, well, that's a good question. I mean, people can go to a gym, but that always just seems like work and it costs money. So what we try to do is activities here that teach people lifestyle changes. For example, incorporating some yoga, gentle yoga, or Tai Chi. We have partners, community partners. We have Prana Yoga that provides yoga instructors here so that we could teach yoga. We have an upcoming series, Full Moon Yoga. We're excited about that.
Tell me what this is about. I can imagine seeing the moon over the greenhouse. Is it full moon? It's a nighttime event?
Well, it's a nighttime event in the evening, and we also have a lot of twinkle lights set up here. So it's basically dark, and if we're lucky enough to have the moon, we have that, and we have a great instructor that, again, Prana Yoga helped us out with. Madeline is our instructor. And at times we do different series. We might do a beginner series throughout the year. It's just to help people incorporate, healthier lifestyles. It's free or donation based, so we wouldn't turn anyone away who wants to come. And we also have another community partner with Geisinger CMC across the street.
Right.
Their Silver Circle group has Tai Chi and yoga here as well. So if people want to participate, they could go through Geisinger and come and take those classes here.
This is a busy place. How do you keep it all moving and seamless, I guess?
Great volunteers.
Yeah.
A lot of hard work and great community partners and volunteers. We have about 10 really good core volunteers that have come back year after year, and then every year you get some new people that come and go. It's a lot to maintain, and we're always looking for help and volunteers and, of course, money, as any nonprofit does.
A few weeks back, the groundhog saw its shadow or didn't see its shadow, whatever it is. Whatever it means, we're supposed to have an early spring.
Yes.
That means a great thing for a greenhouse.
Oh, yes.
So you have a lot of events planned. Talk to us about some of the events you have going on in February and beyond.
Okay, great. Yeah, we have a monthly cooking class. So we have one on February 18th, and then we have one again in March. And we have an afternoon class at 3:30 and an evening class, so we'd love for people to sign up for those. We have some spring plants like bulbs and hyacinths and tulips that we will sell here, but you can also do a fundraiser if you want, if your school group or church wants to do fundraisers. It's the one way that we can raise some money, and we support local. If we don't grow it ourselves here, we buy it locally from a local greenhouse. So we make sure the money stays local, which is part of a healthy community.
Farm-to-table dinners are so big right now.
Yes, they are.
So with local farming, local products coming through this facility, are you feeling the craze? Are you getting involved in the farm-to-table?
Well, we are. In fact, Harvest Catering sources their stuff from farms locally.
Right.
And we have a group here called Lackawaxen Farm Company that delivers weekly. You can get dairy, meat, eggs, and produce through them, and it's delivered here. We're kind of a food hub here. So there is a craze. Our cooking classes sell out. Our evening classes, we could probably do 3 a month, and they would sell out. So they're very popular. It's a great time. I think we're at a cutting edge. We're right at the right time for this.
And how do people sign up for the cooking classes?
They would contact Harvest Catering themselves because they handle the reservations and the bookings, and then they donate all of the proceeds to us. And we use that to do cooking classes for children.
What's involved in the cooking classes as far as, not necessarily price, but beyond the class, what are they getting? What are they bringing home, I mean, educationally, and also is there any materials or products they bring home with them?
Yes, actually, we the fee, which is usually around $20 to $30.
So affordable. Are you
It
kidding
is.
me?
You end up having your meal there because you
Right.
get appetizers and you get to try things as we cook. This past week, we had a cooking class and people took home all the ingredients to make soups. We learned knife skills, how to cut, how to chop. They talk about what they learned in the culinary school.
I need to I mean, I've been in the restaurant business 25 years, I think, and my knife skills suck.
Yes. Well,
so I need to come to one of these classes
and
for that as well.
It's just so much fun, too, because the range of abilities is from a beginner who you could hear them chopping at their table to people that are flying through it, but they love the community, they love to support us.
Right.
And we all pick up something new at the class.
So how can they get, I mean, you said they actually contact the caterer to sign up for the class. Could they do that online? Is there a phone number?
Yes, there's phone numbers, and they're online, Harvest Catering. We always announce it on our Facebook page. It's called the Greenhouse Project, and we have a web page with information. But Harvest Catering, we would direct you there for that. So
it's today's, world. We're so in tune with social media. Definitely like the Facebook page.
Yes.
How do they find it?
The Greenhouse Project.
The Greenhouse Project of Scranton, correct? And
yeah, that's the name, though, the Greenhouse Project. We are in Nay Aug Park at the James Barrett McNulty Greenhouse.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks,
information, and I got to tell you, this is totally in my wheelhouse because I'm a foodie, restaurant guy, and I also lost some weight, if you haven't noticed, and now I don't have any pharmaceutical drugs in my life because I'm eating healthy. So this really is something I'm behind, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nick. That's a success story.
Oh,
thank you.
I can't say enough about it. Eating healthy.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Welcome back to Northeast Current on the ION Network, and I'm here with Tonyehn, who is a board member at the Greenhouse Project here in Scranton on beautiful Nay Aug Park. Tonyehn, tell me how you got involved in this.
Well, it's been a while, so I barely remember. But coming out of Leadership Lackawanna, actually, there was a request put through to members who had recently graduated saying that the greenhouse was looking for volunteers. And because of my interest in food and urban farming, I thought, well, this seems like a great match. And then I got here and realized I already knew Jane and some of the other board members, so it seemed perfect.
Talk about your interest in farming and organic foods, etc.
Yeah, well, I have two little girls. They're 9 and 11, and they love food. And one of the things I found was that by growing things in the yard, there are certain things I might not be able to get them to eat on a plate, but they will definitely pick up out of the yard and eat like it was going out of style. Plus, there's also this whole thing with food scarcity, and there's a void that people could fill themselves with urban farming, and the fact that there's so much waste. I feel like if people understand where food comes from, how easy it is to produce, not only will they have a greater appreciation for it, but maybe if they don't want to grow edibles, they'll at least grow things that help the environment.
You mentioned food scarcity. I mean, explain that to the viewers and how that affects people here in Lackawanna County.
Sure. So I think people have a hard time accessing healthy food and just accessing food in general. So for instance, we with our community gardens will provide the things that we grow to the food pantry this year so that people have access to healthy food. Above and beyond that, there is kind of this void between where food comes from and how you can develop it yourself. So I think if people understand, I could have a pot in my living room and grow a tomato plant, and that can provide my family with tomato sauce. And that's the really simplified version. But then you're not having to look to the supermarket or to food stamps in order to provide yourself with food.
It's a crazy thing too, because then you're getting your children involved in
Definitely.
life. I mean, they're creating life and how we could use plant life then to sustain life.
Exactly.
So I would think children are more apt to try more healthy foods if they have a participation in its growth.
Oh, definitely. There's something about seeing it come from the ground, putting that seed in there, watering it and watching the plants grow. I know this summer we plan to have beds in the back that'll be all edible items, so when families come in to purchase their seedlings for their organic gardens, they can take the kids out back, they can see the plants growing, they can stop and pick a green bean and eat them. You know, they may not do that in Wegmans, my kids do, but here they can feel free to pick up whatever is growing and sample it then and there.
That is so cool. Obviously, impacting lives, and I think somewhat changing lives here at the Greenhouse Project in Scranton. So such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
And I'll be up soon because this is right up my alley.
And planting season begins sooner than you
think.
think.
And this year especially, like I said, you know, I think we're going to have an early spring.
Definitely.
Thanks so much. Pleasure.
Thank you.
So again, Nick Gelso from Go Restaurant Consulting and the Beats and Eats Podcast Network. Today was a total ball visiting with the Greenhouse Project here in Scranton. Looking forward to seeing you again on Northeast Current on the ION TV network.